The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He sliced through. He tags Richard Eck.
Old Man Winter has us in his grip, but tonight even he takes a back seat to the penultimate round in the chase for the Lawrence Towing Cup. Let's go Saturday night short track racing in America with the Bootleg Racing League on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Outlaw 100 at Lanier National Speedway with the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series. I'm Sean Ambrose, and with me tonight, fresh off the plane from Italy, Chris Scala. In the GSRC virtual production truck, twisting and tweaking the dials. Back in the chair, over there, Joe P. Dougie Beard at the cameras tonight, brought to you in amazing Technicolor, streamed into your home through the worldwide wonder of the internet. Well, folks, welcome here this Saturday evening, Sunday morning, wherever you are here in the world on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel here on YouTube. Last week, Old Sobo, South Boston, was the scene of the crime last week, and the Outlaws saw a full field take the start. The momentum didn't last long, though, when caution broke out for a very loose Donnie Moore off the turn in lap 2, and things started out a little slow last week, but seemed to be yellow seemed to be the color of the night there early. But a pivotal spin by Matt Hoos on lap 20 would collect Ernie Brown and Mike Allen and Matt there, and it would shake up the field again. Racing got real and side by side, and that was the order of the day. The field would get stopped down, though, one more time at lap 39 for an incident involving Jeff Sharp. Then things really started to happen. Now, they got restarted, and the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series would go back green one more time. And on lap 46, J.R. Shepard took away what had belonged to John Holcomb all night, the lead. Well, the damage was done, and J.R. was on his way to his 4th victory of the season. And with 2 to go, all J.R. can do is win, baby. Maybe tonight at Lanier, he can find his way to victory lane for number 5. But we got a few things to talk about before we can do that, and I'm going to welcome in my partner, Chris Scala. Chris, it's been a long day, my friend, but we have arrived here at Lanier this evening. Tell us a little bit about the old joint.
Ciao, bello, essere convoy. Oh, wait, we're not in Italy anymore? Oh, anyways, we're at, let me switch languages to English. We're here at Lanier, just outside of Atlanta, right across the street from Road Atlanta. It's a small 3.37 mile track that features some long straightaways and short corners. We talk about the different styles of tracks. You got the longer straightaways, shorter corners. You got the sweeping corners with the shorter straightaways. Here at Lanier, you got almost a mixture of both. A little bit of banking, but some very good racing here in this second to last round. That's too big of a word that you like to say, Sean, but very fun track. You're going to see some side-by-side racing tonight. Already starting to see the bottom line blackening up a little bit and starting to see some cars get loose out there. You got to remember, this is the first race tonight, Sean, where we have the new build. And they've definitely done some changes to these tires and these cars with the new build, so I'm very anxious to see how that's going to be like. But what we want to do right now is get you in our GSRC car for a lap around this Lanier National Speedway with our lap.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. My name is Brian Yazek and I'll be taking you for a spin around Lanier Raceway in the GSRC SK Modified. Going into turn 3, you're going to be finding the yellow line right here on the bottom, but not try to get too much into the gas to let that rear of the car step out. Right back into the corners, down to the yellow line again. You'll notice from this lap guide that you are pretty much always constantly turning. So it's going to be interesting to see who can save that right front tire and not abuse it too early so they can have something for the end of the race. Once again, find the yellow line, back out into the middle of the corner, right back onto the brakes, back to the yellow line. You can kind of run a little bit up off the yellow line, but not too much because there's not a whole lot of banking up on the top side of the track to save you in case you get a little squirrely. So back down into turns 3 and 4 one more time, kind of split the seam right here, find the yellow line, and you have just completed 4 very quick laps around Lanier Raceway. It's going to be a great race, and the winner is going to be the one who decides that they wanted to save their right front tire the most. This has been your lap guide around Lanier Raceway. I'm Brian Yazek.
And that was a lap around the Lanier National Speedway. Just like everyone else, Sean is trying to track down Matt LaVenture as he is almost driven away with the championship. And there is one person who's been able to catch him, and that's Sean, who's with Matt LaVenture in the Krankenstein number 18 SK Modified.
Matt, good evening, sir.
How you doing?
We are. I'm good, man. Here we are at Lanier, looking for another big win this evening. Maybe it's your turn, I think.
We're looking for a good, consistent finish tonight. We showed up to win, but You just never know with these things.
Yeah, and you know what, Chris brought it up in the in the show here as we were getting started. We've got this new build to work with. Have you had much? Well, you had time in the limited lates and the super lates this evening. Any differences in the tires?
I didn't notice a huge difference. I ran the top side really hard in the super late early, and I paid for it late with the tires, but I think that might have happened with the old build either way.
Well, big expectations out of your team every week. You've got the championship in sight, 2 races left to get it done. Give us your prediction tonight, sir.
Loose race, maybe some cautions, and it's just a roll of the dice every week when you're racing short tracks like this. Donnie said some really nice words last week. JR's been a tough competitor with Donnie all season points-wise, but you're really just rolling the dice on a short track. We've gotten lucky all season not to get caught up in any wrecks and be able to squeak by when we needed to, but that's the big difference is we haven't found snake eyes this season, and there's 2 weeks left, so easily either one of these weeks could be snake eyes or a good finish for us. So
all right, Matt, we're going to let you get back in the car. Hopefully that is not tonight. We might get a chance to get to talk to you before it's all said and done with again, sir. Good luck.
thank you very much.
All right, and that was Matt LaVenture, driver of the number 18 SK Modified, and that interview was brought to you by Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing. At virtualgrip.net, you can stay up to date on what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond, GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreed Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Chris, let's talk about this points battle. Let's keep everybody up to date and see what we've got going here. I know we've got Matt up in the lead, but how does it shake out behind him?
Well, it's a 2.5-man race, and I say 2.5 because I still believe until you're eliminated, Donnie Moore does have a shot to win his championship right now, but LaVenture leads it by 7 over J.R. Shepard. Donnie Moore's 16 back into third position. I was just looking at the results from last week, and Donnie Moore actually going to start either second or third tonight, depending on if Chip Dickert makes an appearance. If not, he will start in the second position this evening behind the pole sitter, which should be Matt Hoos, if he's here tonight. But looking at the rest of your point standings, these other two have been eliminated, that being John Holcomb and Matt Shanoski. And again, note from last week, LaVenture, Shepard, and Holcomb, the only 3 drivers who have finished all the laps in the series this year.
And Chris, I have actually confirmed from Lowell Jewell that Matt Hoos will not be here tonight. Yeah, unfortunately, his internet is down, and that has taken him out this evening. That is
so. That means Donnie Moore's our pole sitter tonight.
Yes, Donnie with a chance to cause a little damage this evening here in these point standings.
I'm not a guy of conspiracies, but you think somebody brought his Irwin tools over there and took the internet out?
That's right. Donnie is an Irwin Tools guy. Lots of good thoughts there on the conspiracy. I like that. I like where you're going, Oliver. All right, Chris, tell us about the race details this evening.
All right. We like to twist it up here on the Global Sim Racing channel as we are in the SK Modifieds tonight. Fixed setup, as always. We do invert the top 8, which we've confirmed will be changed back to 10 like we had last season. But tonight, just the invert in the top 8. Donnie Moore will start on the pole. 100 laps, 37.5 miles. 1 fast repair. And as always, you do get 100% fuel unless somehow you flip and the glitch hits you. But that's for another day. No incident cap in this league. You do get double file restarts, which have brought plenty of excitement to the this series and the dynamic weather again tonight. And just looking at that right now, 80 degrees and partly cloudy, which, well, let's just be honest, iRacing doesn't get cold enough to where it is in this whole entire country right now. So let's just go at 80 degrees, track temp of 80, winds blowing out of the north at 9 miles an hour, Sean.
Yes, sir. And you talked about the temperature here, and certainly here in North America, it's very cold right now.
I think it's 20 where I'm at right now.
It's about 40 here. So, yeah, and so these track conditions this evening, pretty neutral, actually, for the SK. And we talked about the tires being an issue. You know, last weekend at South Boston, we saw a lot of side-by-side racing. And I wonder if maybe we might get a couple of grooves this evening. I got to be honest with you, in the super late and limited late races this evening, didn't see a lot of it. What I saw was very fast, very fast conditions out on the track. Actually, the super late model race won by Mike Allen. Mike just had great speed, 100 miles an hour in that super late model into the turns, Chris. And the limited late model race won by J.R. Shepard. So he found the fast track around here. So I think we're going to see a pretty fast race this evening. They clipped off that super late model one in, I think, just over 25 minutes.
Well, they're running laps around here, Sean, about 13, 14 seconds. So they're definitely digging around this track now. If you look at the shape of this track, it kind of has a little bit of a South Boston look. When you look at the sweeping corners on here, and if you remember last week, South Boston really quickly and iGroove did come in. Now, again, I know racing a truck is different than racing a modified car, but last night, as I talked about before, I run in a league on Friday nights, and last night I got to try out the new setups and stuff that they put in the trucks, and I must say, if these cars run anything like those trucks, if you run really hard, you're going to burn yourself up really quick. That was the one thing I noticed really last night, and just how different it felt. So that's why I brought up the tire situation. I want to see what happens come lap 50 tonight, lap 55, 60, and see what these tires do at that point.
Now, Chris, with still just a couple minutes to go before we grid up, today, earlier here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, we had the Global Sim Racing Channel All-Star Invitational. And the boys from the Bootleg Racing League got a car out there, and they're running the 2011 B car, the Chevrolet Impala, at Monza. And it was Chris Hensley, former winner here in the SK Modified Series, and Jacob Williams teamed up. Got that car out there on track and put on a pretty good show. The boys started 28th and finished 22nd. There they are on screen now. Is the 031 Bootleg Racing League entry there, and they caught a little bit of trouble at the chicane, got turned around and stayed out of trouble. Were able to bring the car home 22nd. They had an admirable run, but it was great to see those SK Modified drivers out there, these short track boys out there tearing up the Mazda combined circuit without the first chicane, sir. And Chris, I know we had a pretty good time watching that interesting blend of drivers from all different styles of racing here on the iRacing service, and Bootleg was involved, and from what I understand, they had a pretty good time.
Oh, and they did a great job. And let's not forget, when the caution came out, there was a second caution at lap number 9. The pit strategies really came into play, and the Bootleg team was one of the teams in the race that actually did the driver swap at the first caution at lap 2, because there was a mandatory one driver swap. And at one point, these guys were third in that race before unfortunately getting shuffled out a little bit, and as you mentioned, had a little bit of off-road excursion. I think they were getting mixed up with Oxford Plains a little bit there in the corner, but either way, they did a great job, and congrats to them, and congrats to the whole Premier Racing League. They had a good time and won that race earlier this evening, but also a great job to the Bootleg Racing League. They did a phenomenal job today.
All right, well, the checkers are out on this practice session, which, well, I guess it's no big surprise. Matt LaVenture, top of the board here in practice with a 12.956. He is the only one to turn a 12. J.R. Shepard was right there with a 13 flat. So, very tight at the top, but Donnie Moore is going to be at the top of this thing to start this race, and sitting right there on the outside of row 1, Chris, that's going to be Matt Shinoski.
Row number 2, John Holcomb, who's been running consistent, won the pole the last 2 races from finishing 8th. Unfortunately, he'll start 3rd tonight, which I guess he's okay with that. Matt LaVenture, the point leader, will start there on the outside of row 2.
Okay, row 3, inside, J.R. Shepard, 5th place. Newcomer Kurt Smith, going to be at the outside of row 3, starting 6th.
Ernie Brown going to start there inside of row number 7. Row 8 tonight, Mike Allen, the winner from the super late model race tonight, and I noticed a familiar black and white Goodrich car on his paint tonight.
That is a familiar paint scheme on that car. And Jeff Sharp, inside of row 5, starts 9th. Jacob Williams, fresh back from Monza. We appreciate the ride on the flight, guys. He'll start 10th.
And row number 6, out of the 14-car field that has arrived here tonight, Lowell Jewell, the boss, make that 15. Or 14 cars. I'll learn how to count one of these days. Big Joe Hasser had a good run today in that All-Star race.
Yes, he did for the Lionheart IndyCar Series. And Philip Temple's going to start the inside of row 7, 13th. Ralph Connor going to round out this 14th car field. And Chris, I love Saturday nights. We are getting ready to crank this thing up once again. I live for this day every week, man. And for those of you who have not noticed yet, we have a different pace car peeling off. It's the Porsche of the roof. Here we go. Donnie Moore going to lead them off down into 1.
And already 3 wide into turn 1. Wow, little aggressive move there. Trying to see who that, I think it was Jacob Williams that tried to go the ultimate high side on Mike Allen, but they've sorted it out, and Donnie Moore's pulled out to a lead.
He has. Donnie's got him clean, and he's running. He's got nothing but clean air in front of him, and John Holcomb, dead at his tracks, gets a really nice entry into 2.
Battle on for 3rd. Matt LaVenture inside of Shinowski. It's actually for 4th, I should say. LaVenture going to take the position, maybe.
They're battling back there, but not up front, man. Donnie Moore off to a great start. John Holcomb.
I was going to say, if you remember last week, LaVenture made mention during the interview, he said the thing I need to do next week is just stay right on the bumper of Shepard. What do you know?
Boy, and not many cars surviving on the outside right now here early, Chris. Everybody that's trying to stay up top, getting shuffled back in this field quick. It's a very short track. It will not take long to catch the back of this field if you get stuck up top and shuffled back.
We got a dogfight on our hands back here. 9, 10th, 11, 12th. Sharp. You got Williams there. Lowell Jewell making a pass on Big Joe Hassert. You got Philip Temple's in here. Good little fight here. Oh, Lowell.
Donnie Moore still your leader up front, but the gap is closing. Here comes John Holcomb getting those tires down just below the yellow line. Trying to find a little grip down there. J.R. Shepard just behind him, really close, and there is Matt LaVenture.
Your top 4 in points right there in this picture, 1 through 4, just in different order. But the one thing I was thinking, Donnie Moore is probably thinking right now in his head, you are going to pry this lead from my hands.
Yeah, and you know, again, we talked about it in the pre-race. You know, how much of your equipment do you try to burn up here early? Donnie, he's going to have to fight. He's going to have to play defense because John Holcomb going to want to get around. And guess what? So are those 2 boys behind him. So this is not an advantageous point for or a place for Donnie to be right now. There's a lot of pressure sitting up there.
Trouble.
Oh, we've got trouble. And it looks like
Over
it's Jacob Williams. Oh, and he gets hit by Chip Dickard also.
Actually, Ralph Connor. Yeah, you got hit by multiple cars. Temple's got him too.
Oh, that's a hard hit for Jacob. He's going to have some damage on that car. He's going to get that 1 free fast repair. Looking on board with him here now. Looking out back. There's Phil Temple's just down inside of him. No contact there. And oh, it looks like a little bit of a touch from Philip Temple. Sends him around up into the middle of the track there. And ouch.
Yeah, the other car you can add in there is Joe Hassert. He was the car on the inside that hit the spinning Williams car and sent him back up the track there. And then, of course, at the end, Williams getting hit by Ralph Connor.
Yeah, looking at Big Joe's car, I don't see any damage on that machine. It looks like he got through. The thing you always worry about, though, with the SK Modified, as Joe dips that car in, is how is it handling? Was there suspension damage? And it looks like maybe Joe thought, you know what? I better come in and get that fast repair now. That would be the only reason I think he'd be coming in. Of course, you can't take those tires. And Joe, somewhat still of a newcomer, let's hope he remembers to uncheck those and not take him as he gets into the pit box here.
You know, we always talk about pit roads here as we get a second to talk about this, and we think of tracks like Darlington and Dover, and off the top of my head of tracks that just have the hardest pit roads to get on. Out of all the pit roads, this one is the most confusing of them all because you got these little gaps in the wall, and one's the pit road entrance, one's the exit. You got to loop around to get to the other one. You got the cones right next to the wall. No, I'm not inventing. I'm just sharing. This is the most confusing one.
Here we go, Chris, because that pace car is peeling off, and Donnie Moore shot out of a cannon. Doesn't waste any time across the start-finish line, down into 1. Side by side, J.R. Shepard, John Holcomb. Here comes LaVenture.
How many times have we said it this season? 1, 2, 3, more Shepard, LaVenture. Or LaVenture, Shepard, more, or Shepard, LaVenture, more.
J.R. Shepard all the way up to the wall. Start-finish line, he gets a little bit of it. that allows Donnie Moore to pull away here early.
Holcomb needs to find a hole right now. He needs to get behind LaVenture and not fight him because Shanowski's going to be ready to pounce here in a second.
Yeah, there's Shanowski digging, bringing Ernie Brown along with him.
Oh, cross him.
Yeah, Holcomb thought about it, thought about trying to cross him over, but LaVenture closes the door on him. LaVenture with a nice run into 3, man. Picks up a lot of ground on J.R. Shepherd.
And oh, look now, J.R. Shepherd is coming after Donnie Moore. Lead down to about 4/10.
Yeah, it's not going to be long before Donnie Moore's catching the lap, or the slow car at Philip Temple's just up the road from him here. That could play into this big. J.R. Shepherd digging back here in second place, on board with him.
Sean, I got to say, I think you owe Chip Dicker the apology. I'm just looking at chat right now. Apparently, he's at work right now, and he feels, kind of ashamed that you blamed him.
I think that's the second time today I've accused him of doing something too, and he wasn't in the race. So I'm sorry about that, Chip.
To buy him lunch next week in New Smyrna.
Yeah, I just might have to get him a hot dog.
Take him to the pier at Daytona or something. Well, everybody's single file though.
Yeah, they are, and I talked about that. I feared that might happen because that's what I've already seen this evening in the previous races. But don't worry, things are going to heat up here in a moment. J.R. Shepherd's starting to tighten the noose just a little bit here on Donnie Moore. Donnie's digging, the one thing Donnie...
Shepherd got the
yeah, he gets a piece of it again. Donnie, though, doing what we've seen him do in the past. He's really smooth right now. That line looks good, and just as I'm saying that, the car looks like it gets a little tight there on entry. But Donnie doing a really good job of hanging on here. JR really searching right now. You see him moving all over the track. He's searching for a line, for an opportunity that might get him around. He's looking to the inside now. As they go down the front stretch here.
Moore going to shut the door, though.
Yeah, Donnie going to close it a little bit. Leaves it a little open, though. JR tries to get a wheel in. Can't pull it off yet.
Hey, Sean, I think Joe Peak will appreciate this when I say this. Do you think Donnie Moore could be doing a little Lewis Hamilton move here and trying to slow down to push the pack back to the other cars? Just put it out there.
That's not a bad theory. Not a bad theory. I thought your movie JFK was really good. I enjoyed that, Mr. Stone. No, but seriously, yeah, you never know what's going through these guys' heads. But I don't know if that strategy is necessarily being played out here. But certainly topical.
The question would be, do these guys even watch F1?
Actually, they do. I know several of them. Are
oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
good.
All right, well, here we go. Don Moore, still your leader. J.R. Shepherd trying to just follow right now. LaVenture doing the same thing. John Holcomb, your top four, really seems to just kind of really settled in. Now you get back to another second back is going to be Matt Shanowski, who's really kind of running by himself right now, because then you've got to go back a whole another 2 seconds to Ernie Brown and the rest of the group. Mike Allen and Jeff Sharp and Jacob Williams, they're all in their own little battle back there. And this lead pack has really gotten away from him here, Chris.
Yeah, they definitely pulled away. And something else has just come to my mind here that I'm thinking, this situation might actually be helping Donnie Moore up at the front. And the reason why I say this, J.R. Shepherd's been trying to hold off LaVenture. He realizes that LaVenture is his biggest battle right now, not Donnie Moore. So you almost wonder if Moore feels safe out front because Shepherd's trying to fight LaVenture.
Well, Shepherd sure is digging. We know that. And he's dug up that concrete a couple times. He needs to be careful. He's got to watch himself here. We've still got a long race to go. Got to take care of that car.
Got a good run here.
Yeah, he did. Found that power down on the inside there. Look at that. He's going all the way down to the apron. On the inside of Donnie Moore. Going to try and take it away. Donnie Moore going to get the lead for that lap. Here goes J.R. Shepherd down on the bottom, putting it down. Boy.
This just shows you the classy racing that Donnie Moore has. He could have easily shut the door in that, but he realized, you know what? I'm going to treat this clean.
Give it to Donnie again, though. He got just across. Donnie going to keep fighting up top. LaVenture going to give him nothing. Absolutely nothing. Donnie got to get it done by himself, and that lap is going to be led by J.R. Shepherd. Lap number 39 belongs to JR.
And he's finally going to clear him here. Now LaVenture's got the battle. Moore put up a good fight on that outside line. The problem is there's not much rubber up there. Tires are going to get eaten up. He got in.
Donnie looking to try to take it back. Here comes LaVenture.
Now, right as at this point in this race, yes, we have 59 laps to go, but JR Shepherd, it would be down to 5 points as Moore almost got the wall up, too, in the point battle.
JR also swung it out real wide there. Also, he's trying to get up out ahead of this field. He is on the hammer.
Hey, I know we're watching. I'm sorry, Sean. Oh, contact! The 49 Sharp is spinning. He hits the tire barriers there on the inside. No caution yet. I was just about to point out that battle that was going on there.
Was that Philip Tempest that got around on that?
No, it's Sharp. It's still down here. He's still sitting at the bottom of the track here, trying to figure out how he's going to spin her around. But you're going to see he's on the inside here of this battle. They almost go 3 wide, and Sharp finally takes it to the garage.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's not... Boy, it did look like heavy damage, but he had no place to get around.
He had nowhere to go, so he just like, let me get off.
Probably didn't want to bring out the caution either, and he bails quick because there were cars coming around.
Yeah, that's... I think he did no wrong in that play. Yeah, it's a tough situation to decide on, but good move on his part.
Lap 46, and JR Shepherd is still your leader. Donnie Moore trying to chase him down. Donnie Moore now the one running down there on the bottom looking for some grip. LaVenture content to hang on to third. And these three are now starting to pull away from John Holcomb just a little bit. Holcomb.
Ooh, LaVenture looking.
Holcomb trying to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, might have used up a little bit of that machine and is now falling off pace just a bit. He's still got the tail end there of LaVenture, but they have started to open it up. And boy, Big Joe Hassert just up the road here from JR Shepherd. There'll be some decisions to be made here in just a few laps.
Oh, Shepherd getting a little loose there off 4. And he almost missed the corner and won because of it there. He had to shut the door on Moore.
And he
hits the wall there.
Man, he's just hanging it out on the ragged edge tonight.
Swatting some flies off the corners.
Yeah, he's not going to have much of that car left. I think it's it's probably about a half an inch less in width right about now, actually.
You wonder if that creates some kind of aerodynamic advantage.
Yeah, well, it won't be. There won't be much of an advantage if that right front is turning to the right. If he's knocked it out of tow, he's going to be in trouble. No signs of that right now. LaVenture, though, making signs of a charge.
Look at John Holcomb starting to come back in here.
Yes, he is. He's back in the picture.
He's back in the saddle again?
Indeed. Starting to scratch my head with what's going on with Donnie Moore, though. You know, it seems like maybe he
got a little tight there.
Yeah, you know, and he has like a few good laps, and then all of a sudden makes a mistake.
Oh my God! Hassert right in front of leaders.
That was Big Joe Hassert that was pinned up against the wall. No caution flag. LaVenture just misses him,
and LaVenture loses out on that. Look at the track position there.
Oh, LaVenture just missed him. Let's look at the replay. There's Big Joe Hassert. On screen, the car just gets loose, self-spin, gets pinned up against the wall. LaVenture just gets by as Hassert looked like the car was maybe starting to roll backwards a little bit there.
Potentially. Maybe he was trying to back it up but didn't realize the leaders were right there, so he stopped and he's taking his car behind the wall himself. Tough break for Hassert.
Well, it's going to be an early night for the Big Joe show, but man, lucky break there for LaVenture. Here comes LaVenture. Now picking up Donnie Moore, getting a run off the bottom of the turn. Donnie with a run here on JR Shepherd.
He's got the run there. You wonder if Donnie ate his tires up.
Oh, LaVenture's got that run. There he is, down there at the bottom. Gets a nice run off. Donnie trying to hang on, but I think he's going to lose it here. LaVenture's got the spot up to second.
I think Donnie needs to try a crossover here if he can. If he can try to bring the car to the bottom right here. Not enough momentum.
No, not just nothing there for him, unfortunately. Here comes LaVenture now. J.R. Shepherd in his mirror, probably not looking at it at all. JR doesn't care. He's looking in front of himself and got nothing but clean track right now. You did see the car there. I think it's Philip Temple's there in the picture just up the track. But right now, JR, all he's got to concern himself with what's in front of him. Not worry about the closing car of LaVenture. Chris? I think we're in for a finish here. What do you think?
I definitely agree. And this is actually your closest battle on the track between these two. Now, I want to say this. J.R. Shepherd last week drove the race of his life. The way he was able to hold off LaVenture for all those laps and lead at the end, you're going to see that same J.R. Shepherd here tonight. Now, unfortunately, right now, he's only gained 1 point. He's 6 back when you look at the points chase right now. But you know he's going to do everything he can to hold LaVenture back right now because it's his only hope.
Boys, I'll tell you what, JR really loves to roll that car off the turn as close up to the wall as he can, and as we've seen several times this evening, sometimes that comes at a bit of a cost. But I'll tell you what, it does allow him to get a nice run off into the turn, and that momentum is a big thing here on this short track. Here we go, the lap traffic.
You got a little loose there.
Lap traffic just up in front. Kurt Smith.
Hey, Kurt
Coming
Smith,
up, here
Phil
comes
Temples.
LaVenture looking to the inside. On board with him here. Matt Diggin. He sees that lap traffic up there also.
See how these guys handle the leaders. Looks like Smith right now going to run that high line. It depends on when you catch him at the right time. Looks like both are going to be okay. Donnie Moore, maybe not so much. They'll come up on the 19 of Phil Temples.
Well, luckily they were able to clear that traffic pretty well. Not much of a problem. Still, J.R. Shepherd, your leader. Matt LaVenture has been close, has looked, has thought about it, but he hasn't made the move yet. And with now just less than 30 laps to go, Chris, things are getting tense on track.
It is, and if I'm LaVenture, I'm not going to sit there and take second place, but I'm not going to race as hard as I normally would, but at the same time, if JR makes a mistake, I'm pouncing. Because you never know if that 1 point could come into play next week. However, you don't want to get yourself in a spot where you hurt yourself trying to get too much.
Oh, man. JR gets just a little bit of the wall again, and sparks flying. They are coming up on a lot of traffic, actually, now. And, Chris, this is going to be a big deal here. Oh, LaVenture's loose. Whoa. Ow, whoa is right, man. And he saves it. Great job by Matt LaVenture. That's going to make the right rear very angry. And but LaVenture,
that was my point right there, Sean. That was my point about don't push the car too hard.
Yeah, well, he's been pushing hard all night, and I got to imagine here with now 24 laps to go, the tires are screaming. And JR now got Philip Temples right in front of him. Going to have to find a way around. Ralph Connor, Phil going to get out of the way. Oh, whoa, whoa. That's very scary. Ernie Brown and Ralph Connor up here and to the inside. Connor goes up the track. They almost made contact. That was a little scary, actually.
Yeah, and this is going to hurt LaVenture here.
LaVenture going to dive to the inside there. Connor going to stay up top. JR able to get his run up there to the wall, back down to the inside. Setting up Ernie Brown. He's got to get around Ernie. 20 to go. Baby, let's boogie. Let's get this party going. J.R. Shepherd to the inside of Ernie Brown. Matt LaVenture right back there in second. Ernie's loose. Oh, boy. Ernie's still loose. He catches it. He catches it. LaVenture's able to get by. It's back to a race for the lead. Let's check out the replay on that real quick. Ernie Brown's the number 8 Frankenstein car up there up top of the outside groove, side by side with J.R. Shepard. And Ernie, you see that car break loose, and Ernie was able to catch it. What a great job by Ernie Brown.
LaVenture and Shepard are going to need new pairs of trousers when they get to the podium if they finish this way.
I'm afraid so. J.R. Shepard is digging, baby. 17 laps to go. Still holding off Matt LaVenture. Now they have pulled away from Donnie Moore. Forget it. Donnie Moore is out of this battle, not even a factor anymore. 2.5 seconds back down the road.
Yeah, I think Donnie hurt his tires, Sean.
I think you're absolutely right. I think he used him up and used him up good, and he can't even get around the lap traffic at this point. So Donnie's stuck back there. Here comes LaVenture looking for the fast trip around down on the inside. Nothing there, having to settle. Oh, JR, I can't. I keep watching JR, and every time he gets up there near that wall.
Oh, he's loose there.
Ooh. You got to keep it off that wall, JR. Hang in there, buddy. Hang in there. It's like I talked about in the pre-race. All he can do is win. All JR can do is win. That's all he can do. It's the best he can do. An option. Yeah.
And you look at the last 6 races, you're looking at the 2 guys who have won them all. The only driver not named Matt LaVenture and J.R. Shepard who has won a race this year is Matt Shanowski.
Yeah, it looked like, Matt sitting back there in 5th, not having a bad run at all. I mean, it looked like he might have been a factor early, but, man, JR's still hanging it out there by the wall. Still,
got loose there.
He's making a mistake there. Here comes LaVenture looking to the inside, not going to get it yet.
He shut the door on him. He said, no. He said, you get nothing, sir. Good day.
He did. Yes, he did. You got it out before I did, and that's great. He did shut the door on him. JR able to hang on. He's got to avoid trouble just for a few more laps. 9 to go. Lanier is proving to be quite a fun ride this evening for these two. Matt LaVenture would love to try and lock things up here and get a win. Oh boy, he thinks about it and doesn't do it there, Chris.
Smart move. Like I said, if you're LaVenture, if he makes a mistake, pounce. If not, just race him clean and get to the finish. And we should mention, there's no one else battling within 0.7 of a second of each other. This is your battle right now on the track. LaVenture had a good run there.
Yeah, riding on board with him here. He's searching. He's looking. He's trying to find an opportunity here.
So he tried to high-low move a little bit ago, and that's when he almost lost it.
Sometimes that movement in the mirror will rattle a driver. And LaVenture trying to do that to J.R. Shepard right now, but Shepard not having any of it. He's still the man with 4 laps to go, indeed. Oh, Lowell Jewell up just in front of these guys. Could be a factor here in these last 4 laps.
Ooh, good run for LaVenture off 4 there.
Oh, boy. Here we go. J.R. Shepard
He's
off
got him.
LaVenture looking to the inside. He's got to wheel in. Can he hang on to it? J.R. Shepard wins that race off the turn. Still has the lead. J.R. got to shut the door on him. He does. J.R. Shepard shuts the door, and Matt LaVenture down into 3. Through turn 4. Here we go. 1 lap to go. White flag is out. J.R. Shepard makes it down the backstretch. LaVenture going to try one more time. Gets a piece of the wall. J.R. Shepard going to bring it out of 4. He is going to win the Outlaw 100 here this evening. Matt LaVenture going to have to settle for 2nd. Donnie Moore going to come home 3rd. What a race, Chris.
Wow. That was awesome. 2nd straight win for Shepard. He's actually the first guy to go back-to-back this season, believe it or not. But
yeah, that's hard to believe, isn't it?
And after tonight's race, it looks like it'll be 6th or better for Matt LaVenture to win the championship next week. And unfortunately, Donnie Moore will be eliminated now from the race. It's a 2-man show next week in New Smyrna.
Wow, wow, wow. What a race there by J.R. Shepard. He wins again this evening. Certainly Wins again this evening, wins the second week in a row. What a race here at Lanier National Speedway. But I'll tell you what, I need to catch my breath real quick. Let's take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll go through the complete field for you, tell you how everybody finished, and talk to a few of these drivers about this race this evening. Well, welcome back here on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. And tonight, the Outlaw 100 here at Lanier National Speedway was quite a race. 100 laps every Saturday night here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Tonight was another great one, and the J.R. Shepherd goes back-to-back here, wins second week in a row here. He wins. Big winner, win number 5 on the season for J.R. We talked about it a bunch. All he's got to do is just keep winning. That's all he can do. Matt LeVenture going to settle for second. Donnie Moore going to finish third. And as Chris said, I think that pretty much eliminates him. from any chances of winning this championship now. John Holcomb going to finish 4th. 5th going to go to Matt Shanotsky. 6th place, Jacob Williams. Mike Allen going to finish 7th. Lowell Jewell going to finish 8th tonight. Philip Temples in 9th. Ralph Connick going to finish 10th. Chris?
And taking a look at the final 4 positions in this race, and these guys all had trouble. Ernie Brown finishing 1 lap down, Kirk Smith, and then Joe Hassert and Jeff Sharp had those spins towards the end of the race. But Sean, a couple of facts I'll point out about this race tonight. I think this is the first race you and I have done together that's been done before 10 o'clock Eastern time. That's how quick this went, 1. Number 2, 85 lap green flag run to finish that race. 1 caution, and that was it at lap number 15. And we went back racing. We didn't see the yellow hanky again. I almost wonder if somebody stole it.
Yeah, well, somebody who did steal it was J.R. Shepard, and he's here now. J.R. Cutting those donuts again for the 2nd week in a row. You left anything on the car for next week at New Smyrna?
No, I think I pretty much wore it out tonight.
Congratulations, my friend. Win number 5 on this season. And, you know, any other season, that would be dominance. Just absolute dominance. But, man, you walk away tonight still looking up the points there at Matt LaVenture, still leading him.
Yeah, he's been extremely fast all year. I think he was actually faster tonight. I was able to manage the lead a little bit, so that's the advantage of being the leader at the times. You can manage the race, but yeah, definitely when you're racing somebody like that, he can run second and he's still going to win the championship.
Now, you know, when you load up those fenders and those wheel wells for that concrete from those walls there, JR, that adds a little weight to the car, man. Was that affecting your speed there at the end? Because, man, you're up there near that wall quite a bit this evening, man. How was the car actually handling? Was it affecting it at all?
It was handling terrible before that. I was trying to knock the toe out a little bit and gain a little bit of speed, like those NASCAR guys do.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, for your efforts, you get another win this evening. Congratulations. Listen, we've talked about it several times. You're doing everything you have to do, man. Winning is the only formula that gets you this championship, and it's all going to come down to New Smyrna. I think Chris said Matt's got to finish 6th or better or something like that. So we'll see when we get to New Smyrna. But any strategy for yourself heading there?
It's just to go out and have fun next week. Matty's ran a great season. Obviously, he's got a lot of wins. Constantly finishes in the top 2 or 3. So I think he'll be fine next week for sure. And on my end, just go out and have some fun. Enjoy the season.
All right, well, great to see that Ford Motorcraft SK Modified back up in Victory Lane this evening, JR. We'll see you next week at New Smyrna.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
All right, buddy. And that was JR Shepard. And now we're going to talk to our 2nd place finisher, Matt LaVenture. Chris is caught up with him.
Yeah, Matt LaVenture's 2nd place run tonight. And Matt, I'm going to start by asking, would you be offended if I called you Matty Ice? But you're just knocking them cold this year.
No, I appreciate that. I think the 3 of us top guys have been pretty consistently, in the top 3 every week, and then there's a bunch of guys that have been fast and had good runs and bad luck. But yeah, it was what a show tonight was. That was a fun race.
Yeah, it looked like you were running down JR, and you had a couple of moments there. I noticed one moment you kind of were, and you kept doing it a lot, entering the corner high and trying to exit low, and the one time you almost lost it.
Yeah, I figured since the back of the car was completely useless, maybe I could gain some out of the front of the car. So I was running a little wider apex and trying to not cut the car so tight when I was under throttle off. And JR just ran an awesome race, did a great job tonight. That was a lot of fun racing with him. And Donnie too. Donnie did a great job.
Oh, absolutely. It was fun to watch all 3 of you guys as always, and the rest of the race was great tonight too, I should mention. Now, we asked you before the race, and I'll ask you after the race. The new build with the tires, did you feel anything different, especially in the long run?
Yeah, car just was terrible. It was awful. The tires were gone. I know me and JR were sideways as far as we could be a couple times without losing the car, and I'm sure Donnie was running good laps back there too, doing the same thing. But I don't know that anybody was comfortable during the race beyond the 50 lap or so mark.
Now, Matt, it looks like if I do my math correctly, which I guess I'm decent at that, you're going to need to finish 6th or better next week at New Smyrna. Do you know how many times you have finished 6th or worst this season?
Maybe once or twice.
Just once. That was 7th at Stafford. Other than that, you finished 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. So the odds are pretty good. That's going to make you feel pretty good.
No. We're short track racing with a lot of talented guys. We're basically playing roulette. You can bet on the 1st, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, or the last one, but every spin is its own spin. And there's no numbers that are definite. And I'm just going to go next week and try and win a championship by being clean and consistent. And thanks to the cranky guys and we put a lot of work into the season, so hopefully it works out.
Absolutely. Well, Matt, we appreciate your time as always. Rest up this week, and we'll see you at New Smyrna next week.
Thank you, Lawrence Stowing, virtualgrip.net, Matt Hoos, and Lowell Jewell. Thank you all very much. And you guys, thank you for what you do.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt. And Sean, as you go to talk to Donnie Moore, I'm going to leave you with this number. Matt's average finish this season, 2.33.
Ouch. Donnie, that's a tough number to deal with, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, listen, these guys are in a league of their own, man. These two guys. So, hey, what can I say?
You were doing a good job of holding them off there for a while, though, and it seemed like maybe the car just went away from you a little bit.
Yeah. Definitely, this was my opportunity to win a race, starting from the pole there. But I held him off for a little while, and then JR managed to get by me. But I was staying with him for a while, and he was kind of bouncing off the wall there a couple times. I thought maybe I'd have a chance to get back around him, but then of course Matt came and he got by me, and then I got caught in traffic, and those two guys were gone. So listen, I thought Matt was in a league of his own, but I'll tell you, JR has proved me wrong. He's right there with him, and he's really impressive.
Well, Donnie, being a former champion yourself, multiple-time champion, JR, I mean, 5 wins this season. He's won half the races, and I said to him, any other season, that would be just pure dominance and guarantee yourself a championship. Not so much this year.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? 5 wins, and he's still looking up to Matt. So, yeah, listen, these guys are good.
Well, Donnie, you're pretty good yourself. Always good to have you here on the podium, my friend. New Smyrna. I know that's a favorite of yours. It's a favorite of all of ours. And next week we head there and we wrap up another year of bootleg racing here on the Global Sim Racing channel. And buddy, you've been with us since the beginning, and it's like I said, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, my friend.
Hey, I appreciate you guys too. It's a lot of fun every Saturday night. Thanks, Joel. Lowell Jewell for putting it all together, and thanks you guys.
Donnie, we will see you at New Smyrna, my friend. You
Thanks,
have a
Sean.
safe trip over there. We'll see you next week.
Great, thanks.
All right, and that was Donnie Moore, driver of the number 26 ASPCA Irwin Tools SK Modified. Chris, big news here in the series. Next season, Season 1 2017 Street Stocks and Pro Trucks are coming back to the Bootleg Racing League. Details coming here in the next few weeks. Tuesday night lineup beginning in 2017. That is going to be added, and tentatively, hopefully for March, the Lawrence Towing Late Model Dirt Series, Chris. And we're hopefully going to be the first to bring it to you here on the Global Sim Racing channel. And remember, the Bootleg Racing League is always looking for sponsorship. You want to sponsor a race, get your name associated with this great series? Hey, give them a look. bootlegracingleague.com/sponsorship. All the details you need. Of course, go to bootlegracingleague.com. You can find out all the information about the league there. Several great series and a great website to check out. We certainly want to thank Lawrence Towing. They service the Indianapolis, Indiana area and the neighboring communities. And listen, if you find yourself in need of a tow, Lawrence Towing is the way to go. And we can't forget about Virtual Grip Network. It is a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing. At virtualgrip.net, you can stay up to date on what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Virtual Grip Network, iRacing news and reports. Find them at virtualgrip.net and also on Facebook /virtualgrip, Chris.
And thanks to the Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. If you need more information about the BRL, you can go to facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League and bootlegracingleague.com.
And thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on screen now that we've used today on our broadcast.
And of course, the music, the original music you've heard on the broadcast today is thanks to Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde. You can see the screen on how to contact both of them.
And I want to thank the crew today, Chris. And we had Nash Hendry in here doing a little pit reporting for us, or not pit reporting, but spotting for us. We certainly appreciate his help. Joe Peak back in the booth with us this week. We appreciate him. The Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series returns in 1 week, December 17th, for the season finale in the Outlaw 100 from New Smyrna Speedway.
And if you need more information about the GSRC events, you want to maybe watch some archive broadcasts or some of the other leagues that we do broadcasts for, you can check out globalsimracingchannel.com for all that. Also on Twitter, you can follow us at GSR Channel and at facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel.
And we had Nash interning for us this evening. He has swept up the booth and neatly packed up all the cables.
I see how this game is.
Yes.
I go get on the fire truck in the infield and you bring him up there?
Well,
lazy.
The fire truck is fun. I know how you like fire trucks. Anyway, I'll tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna run out front and put a lock on the gate. We're gonna get in our little bus. We're gonna head on over to New Smyrna. We're gonna see you next week. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.